Starting in just a few hours, there's a festival to celebrate Italian heritage here in East Tennessee. And right now, I'm joined by Bill Claiborne, an organizer with the Tallytown Italian Festival. Bill, thank you so much for coming out here today.
Grazie. And thank you for having me.
There you go. Absolutely. It is our pleasure. We're so excited to learn more about this festival and about the influence and the Italian heritage there in La Follette. So can you talk about a little bit of history and kind of tell us about how Campbell County was built?
Right. So it was in the late 1890s when the coal and iron and timber industries just started booming. And so a lot of the companies needed workers. And at the same time, Italy was overpopulated, so it was a perfect storm, really, where a lot of Italians looking for a better life, came to Ellis Island, and there they were met by a group of people who worked for coal companies, and that's how they arrived in Campbell County, because you can imagine somebody speaking Italian, and you get in New York at Ellis Island, so how do you end up in a place like Campbell County? Well, it's the coal companies and the opportunities for them to work. And actually some of the Italians started their own coal companies, and they thrived. We've researched about 100 different Italian families that came into our area. And it's been astonishing. I work with the Campbell County Historical Society. So we started when there was an anniversary, a 100-year anniversary on the Piedmont Hotel, which was built by Domenico Lobertini. And so we thought, I knew some of the Italians, but I had no idea there were this many. And it was the melting pot. So they assimilated so well that 2 or 3 generations later, a lot of people kind of forgot the story. So we're bringing the story back of just how hardy these people were to be able to travel that far. And there was only a few hundred people. La Follette didn't even exist then. It was Big Creek Gap. And so overnight, they come in with the railroads and all the industry.
Right. And
they really were the backbone for building not only our community in La Follette, which they had a section of La Follette called Tallytown.
Okay.
Which is short for Italian. And that was their name for it. So, but in the whole region, from Cumberland Gap down to Rocky Top, all through there were Italians building tunnels and canals and of course working with the coal mines, and then bakeries and buildings. So we're really happy. This is our second one. So we started last year, and we had all the descendants and Italian families, and they intermarried, so they don't always have the Italian last name, but they'll be Italian heritage. And so we're very excited to have everybody back this year. So the history is fundamental to our culture, and I'm a historian, and I wanted to see where else maybe in Tennessee we have this. Really nothing like this, because the coal mining region of Campbell County, you go into southeastern Kentucky or West Virginia and Pennsylvania, Ohio, some of those coal mining areas, you'll find some of the Italians there too.
Right.
But in Tennessee, that's why we call it the biggest little Italy in Tennessee. Amazing.
And the biggest little Italy in Tennessee is having this festival today. So that is going to be downtown, and that's happening starting at 11 a.m. Is that right?
11 a.m. We're going to go to approximately 7. It's going to be, we'll see how it goes toward the end of the day. But weather's going to be perfect. We've got music, the Tennessee Sheiks, our headliner, Drunk Uncle, and we've got Desmond Edwards, steel drum player, and we have David Peterson, and then we have exhibits for all of the history of the Italians. We have crafters, we have artists, we got Sarah Cadle and John Orsborn. They do this wonderful craft with woodworking. And so they got spoons and with Tallytown on it and all signature items. So we're down at Freeman Corner Park down in downtown. It's just straight downtown La Follette. Parking is all around the city. And so it's going to be a great time. We're just expecting a lot of folks, and there's a lot of businesses around there too. So we're trying to revitalize a lot of downtown La Follette with this event.
Amazing. Well, Bill, thank you so much for coming out and telling us all about that. We've got to take a break right now, but we'll be back in just a minute.